Good morning and welcome to this short time of announcements for this Sunday, the 12th of July in Alexandra Presbyterian Church. I want to start off by saying a huge thank you to everyone who has found a way, found an opportunity to continue to make your offering during this lockdown time. We know that many people and families have set up a standing order with their bank. Others have sent cheques to our treasurer, David McConkey, and still others brought their envelope or envelopes that they had kept during this time to the recent food bank collection. I want to say a very sincere thank you to everyone who has been able to do this and found a way to do it. We know that it allows our ministry and ministries to continue both now and also in the future in Alexandra and in our local area. So a very sincere thank you to everyone who has done that. Also want to remind you that we're hoping to have our new members classes online over the summer months. Our members classes give us an opportunity to explore what it means to have faith, to explore what it means to belong to the church as a communicant member, and to explore what the Lord's Supper is all about. And so if that's the sort of thing that you've been thinking about during lockdown or even before, then I want to really encourage you to get in touch with me and to speak about that. Maybe you have some questions, maybe you have some things that you want to find out more about, then please do get in touch and we'll plan a time whenever either one-on-one or hopefully maybe a number of us can get together and explore these things together. Our next Lord's Supper, we're not sure when that's going to be in Alexandra, but we would love to be able to welcome some new communicants during that time. It's always a very special opportunity for us to do that. So if you have any questions, you have any thoughts, then please do get in touch and I'm more than happy to be able to talk to you about that. And then I also want to say that hopefully this week you'll have seen or you'll have heard that we're having an online Holiday Bible Club this summer. That's going to run on Wednesday the 12th, Thursday the 13th and Friday the 14th of August. And that will be online. That will be a YouTube video that we'll also post a link to on our website and our Facebook page. It's for all primary school age children, anyone at all who falls into that category between P1 and P7, that will hopefully be suitable for them. We're going to put together a little activity pack that goes along with what we're doing on the videos. And so we're asking people just to register. It's completely free. There's no cost. All we're looking to do is get the name and the age of the person taking part. So you can send that to me via text or email and we'll make a note of that. And then a bit nearer the time, we'll have an opportunity for you to come and collect those little packs. So we're asking people to register before Friday, the 31st of July. So please spread the word at near and far to family members, neighbours, school friends, whatever it may be. Please do let them know. We'd love to be able to reach as many people as possible. We're calling it Mission Miracle Maker, and we're going to look at some of the miracles that God has done and what that means for us. So please do follow along with that. And then finally, we're just 2 weeks away now from being able to gather again in Alexandra Presbyterian Church. Sunday, the 26th of July is when we're planning to be able to open our doors and meet again. With that in mind, we've put together a short video which walks us through the process, quite literally, of what to expect from the moment you arrive during the service until the moment that you leave. So we've shown that online during the week, and I'm going to include that now as a little follow-up video to our announcements. And then after that, if you're watching on a DVD or listening on a CD, then our moderator service will follow straight after that. If you're watching on YouTube, then just below this video in the description, you'll see a link to that moderator service. Or if you're watching on Facebook, then we'll put a link online at 11 a.m. And the Reverend David Bruce will lead us in that. There's going to be a number of contributions from members of the North Belfast Presbytery this week. So please do take an opportunity to watch that and to join in the worship in that way. And the reason that we're tuning into the moderator service this week is because I'm off on annual leave this past week and this coming week. So if you have any sort of pastoral needs whatsoever, please do get in contact with an elder, and the Reverend Eddie Hyman from Seaview is going to cover our pastoral needs. So please do, as I say, get in touch with an elder if you have anything at all that you need. And I will see you again next week. We are really looking forward to welcoming everyone back to Alexandra Presbyterian Church from Sunday, the 26th of July. As we approach that date, we thought we would put together this short walkthrough video to show everyone what they can expect from the moment that they arrive at church until the moment that they leave the building. Whenever you arrive, as ever, one of the stewards will be at the front of the building to give you a warm welcome. As I'm sure you understand by now, that won't be able to involve a handshake, but you'll be made more than welcome with us. The first thing that we want to ask everyone is that they would come a little bit earlier than they normally do, at least 10, maybe 15 minutes earlier than you would plan to be at church on a Sunday. This will allow us to get everyone into the building in an orderly way and to maintain social distancing that is asked of us. Like you will have seen, I'm sure, no doubt, in shops and other places that you visit, we will also be operating a one-way system. And so when you arrive at the building, that means entering through the left-hand doors at the front of church, and after the service is finished, leaving down the steps through the right-hand door as you leave.
So once you've come in through the left-hand door, you will see a number of tables with hand sanitizers on them. Please do take an opportunity to use that on your way in. At this stage of entering the building as well, a steward may ask you and your family if you'd make your way upstairs to the gallery. If they do that, then please take that as a compliment, because they think you're mobile and fit enough to be able to do that. But if anybody has any issues with mobility or stairs or maybe even heights, and you really would rather not go up to the gallery, then please do say that to a steward, and we'll make sure we find room for you downstairs. So once you arrive in the building and come to take your seat, you will hopefully see that every other pew has been blocked off with a chair. And this is to allow us to make sure that we are social distancing at 2 metres. Simply find a pew that doesn't have a chair, blocking it off, and make your way there. Once you're inside a pew, you will see the yellow dots in front of you, and again that is simply to measure out the 2 metre space between each person. If you are coming on your own, or you're sharing a pew with someone from another household, then just simply aim for a yellow dot and you'll know that you're at least 2 metres away from someone else. If you're coming as a family of 2, 3 or 4, then obviously you're allowed and you're permitted to sit closer than 2 metres. What we would ask is that if families would sit simply between the 2 yellow dots, then that will again ensure that the person at the end is at least 2 metres away from anyone else. We know that this means change, and we know that this maybe is a little bit different to what we're used to doing, but we also know that it's a small price to pay to allow us to stay safe, to maintain social distancing, and to be able to come back together to worship again. First and foremost, whenever we gather in Alexandra again from the 26th of July, we are here to worship. That is what we have missed for the last 3.5 or 4 months when we haven't been able to be together. However, some of the means that we use will be slightly different. For example, our worship that we sing, maybe a couple of times during the service we will stand and we will be able to sing together just as we are used to. And then in the middle of our time together, we will more than likely stay seated and we will sing a more reflective piece. And that is to allow us to follow the advice that we've been given in terms of spreading germs and the safest way for us to meet together and us to be able to sing praise, at least for the first little while. As well as that, for the first number of weeks we won't have creche or Kids for Christ, and that'll be until we work out how we can best do our children's ministry while social distancing. So for those first number of weeks, I want families to know that if you need to take a baby or a toddler or a child out of the service even for a little while, you're more than welcome to do that, and the McCloy Hall will be open, and that will be a space for you to use. As well as that, during our worship there will be toilet facilities to use. We're encouraging everyone to use the disabled toilet right beside the lounge. That will have disabled access, it has baby changing, and we've also replaced the towel with paper towels so that we're not sharing very many surfaces at all. So I want everyone to know that your comfort is catered for as we come to worship together. And then after our service is over, we're encouraging everyone to continue to use the one-way system as we manage the flow of people. And so as people will have come up the steps and in the left-hand door at the front of church, so we're encouraging people to continue to use that system and down outside the opposite door. We understand because of mobility issues, not everyone will be able to manage the steps, and so if you fall into that category, then please know that the door at Castleton Avenue will be available. However, for the rest of us, we want to ensure that we continue to use that one-way system. You will have seen in your pews there are no Bibles or hymn books, and that is to minimise the number of things that we're touching. And so with our offering, we want to do likewise. You will see offering plates here on the table on the way out. That allows us to make sure that there, as I say, are a minimum number of people touching it, but also it makes sure that we're making it a response in our worship, and so that happens as we make our way out of the building. Hopefully this video has answered some of your questions and shown you a little bit of what it will be like to return to church on Sunday the 26th of July, and we can't wait to welcome you and your family to Alexandra.